Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and good evening. My name is Dr. Madalenechan and I'm going to be with you for the next 40 minutes with a very special guest, which I'll share with you all. But thank you. This is for the Film and Music Show on USA Global TV and Radio. So welcome to our viewers. And before we bring on our new guest for this week's show, I would like to, first of all, say thank you to Audi K Barrier, who sponsors the Film and Music Show. And not forgetting, currently, we are on USA Global TV and Radio, the YouTube. We are reaching out for anyone out there who would like to, we would love them actually, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV and Radio YouTube channel. Currently, today's, as I speak now, it's actually come up. We are at 39,014 subscribers. Our target is to have 100,000 subscribers for the 7th of November this year. At the same time, we'd love you to join our community and subscribe to Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck as well. We are, as of today, 7,938 subscribers. Again, we're looking at the 7th of November. So everyone, please do subscribe. We are a channel of education and hope, and we give you a platform to help you share your life story, to share your brand, to co-collaborate, to learn how to be a host. There's so many. If all you have to do as well is go on to usaglobaltv.com, and then you will find all the services, all the TV channel, all the TV shows that we have. We have about 40 shows now. So we're always looking for new people to host the shows, and of course, to take the courses as well, to be an interviewer. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce today's guest on the Film and Music Show. He's a very, very funny man, and he's a very good friend of mine. His name, well, I was introduced by a very good friend. Rocco introduced me to Steve Cline. Now, Steve Cline is a phenomenal, and I say phenomenal, digital art genius artist. At the same time, he's a phenomenal performer. He's been performing for like over 3-4 decades, and he's met so many people and he's performed on so many stages. And at the same time, he is a funny comedian, man. Film and Music Show welcomes today the wonderful, talented Steve Cline. Come on through, Steve.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Steve.
Hey. That's cool. I said, yeah, we sound like we've somebody's like landed on the roof. It happens, you know, like an alien, and he's changing the voice things from planet Jupiter or something. But yeah, it's great to be here, Maggie, and Maddie rather. And thanks for that very good introduction. I'm looking for somebody who can fit the bill now.
As you said, you're a very funny man, Steve.
Oh, well.
What I would like to, can you share with the viewers, Steve, with our viewers, to say kind of like a brief synopsis, maybe about 2 or 3 lines or something, to share who you are, what you do, what you love, and then we'll go on to questions and everything from that.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, what can I say? You know, I was born in 1953. I've got 8 grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild, 4 children. My youngest is Sansara in Holland. Her mum's Gerda. And Sansara's 26. So she speaks fluent Dutch, a lot better than me. And yesterday with England and Holland, you know, anyway, so everybody's okay. It's a little quiet outside now. I wonder why. Yeah, I was born in Manchester, England, in Openshaw, in a smoky part of the, you know, always foggy and stuff, a very industrial part, the north of England, opposite where they used to make the locomotives, Bessemer Street, the locomotive. Anyway, and what can I say, you know? My mum was with 3 different guys. They were all blah, blah, blah. My father was a chief person in the Royal Navy, and he was a real, you know, he was like Captain Bligh on acid, you know. So I don't have many good memories of him. The first time I heard any live music, he used to play the Warsaw Concerto when he was drunk. And then after the Warsaw Concerto, which he could play brilliantly, he always used to break things up in the house, pots and pans, you know. So that's how I got introduced to music. The first job I had was working in the fishmongers, and then I worked on the market selling underlay, and the first underlay I sold ended up in a block of flats where senior people lived, and they put the underlay down thinking it was carpet, but it had underfloor heating, and the whole place got toxic fumes and everything. They had to close it down. So the guy I was selling carpet for did a runner, and that was it. From there on, I went into the car trade. I started doing cars. I was a mechanic and bodywork and stuff like that. And in my spare time, I sang. I used to love singing. I used to love the people and the fun of it all. And, you know, they were just great days. You know, I'm talking about the first time I sung, I was 7 years of age. My brothers stood me on an orange box on Christmas Day, and I was singing Silent Night. And all the money I got, they went in Bellevue, which was the world's first amusement place, and they spent all the money in the machine. So I didn't get much out of that. I think I got a Kit Kat. Music. What can I tell you about music? I was quite successful in classic cars, and I had a big house. I had everything. I had Rolls Royce. I had everything you could possibly think. I didn't have anything that was close to my heart. And, you know, to find something, and I'm very lucky because I found music. If I hadn't found music, I don't know what I'd have done. You know, I'd have probably ended up with a chronic asthma and stuff like that because I was paint spraying, you know. And, you know, in those days, you know, there wasn't much health and safety about, you know. So we just used to wrap a towel around our face and spray, and it was, you know, there wasn't the best environment. But I don't regret anything, you know. So then I went into music. So from then I went into music.
Steve, that's a lot to process. Thank you for sharing that. Now I have to have a good pair of ears to kind of relate back to that somehow.
No, nobody can analyze me or relate to me.
So you're from Manchester, as you can tell.
Manchester, UK.
Accent. Yeah, Manchester. So let's go at school. What were you like at school?
I used to spend I spent more time out of school than in school. I didn't study artwork, but I was brilliant at climbing up ladders and taking the lead off church roofs.
Wow. Well,
yeah, that was because what we had to do it. We had to survive. They were hard times. Those were hard times. It wasn't easy times, you know. So we just used to have to do what we could do to survive, you know. So we used to climb across the railway yard and steal coal, and you know, it was a rough time in the north of England, you know.
Yeah.
He went out with that.
Sorry, viewers. Steve is just a funny man in every way. Even when you talk something serious, you put some humor into it. So I don't know how to react.
No, you can't. That's the problem when people try to, you know. I mean, people have tried to interview me before and they've jumped off the Grand Canyon, you know. So I don't want you to do that. So I hope you're not in a dangerous position. But
no, I won't be jumping off a canyon. I might jump on a spaceship, but no.
Okay, well, another spaceship. There you go. So you've already been. That's probably where we met before, you see, in this sort of after ethereal world, you know. So
We probably did on a different planet. But what I'd like to talk to you about, Steve, is about your art.
yeah,
You've been sharing with me personally
yes,
fabulous digital art compositions.
yes.
And can you tell our viewers what has inspired you to do digital art? And
Well,
it's
yeah.
phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's like
Thank
it's
you.
from another world.
Thank you very much. Well, this particular piece of artwork, you must ask me a little bit more about this, because this was the competition I won via Sotheby's, this one. So, but going back, how I started with artwork in 2012, I mean, the only thing I could paint was cars, but I understood colours. You know, colours and the vibration that certain colours can give, you know. So I thought, you know, I was in hospital, I'd had a knee injury, I was playing football against my daughter's team and being quite competitive. I slipped on the wet grass and I tore the meniscus in both my knees, which isn't much fun. It's really painful. Anyway, after putting up with the pain and cortisone shots, I was taken in hospital because I couldn't walk, and I had an arthroscopy done on the knee, so which is like a needle that goes in and clears away the damaged meniscus. It's a football injury basically, and I was a bit scared, really. It's sort of a premonition. I'm quite psychic. And I said to the anesthesiologist, I said, look, I said, it's better if you completely knock me out. I said, because I don't fancy, I've got a feeling if you give me an epidural, you know, which was what he was offering me, something would go wrong. Oh, I said, don't worry. Anyway, I didn't have much I could say over it. My girlfriend was a nurse at the hospital. She was working in another ward. So this is 2012. So they give me the injection in the spine, and he says to me, oh, can you feel this on? And he was scratching my leg with a needle. I said, I can still feel it. He said, oh, I'll have to give you another needle. That one wasn't long enough. So he puts this huge needle in. I mean, it was like this long into my spine, and it bent on my spine. And I jumped forward, and basically what I did, instead of putting the anesthetic and the anesthetic into the lower part of the body, so I couldn't feel the operation on my knee, he injected my thorax, so the upper body. So as he was doing the operation, I was going colder and colder and colder. It was a woman doctor, and I said, I can feel everything. She said, no, you can't. You're just imagining it. Anyway, I started with a terrible headache. She walked away, and I felt like I was going to die. My heart, you know, I didn't have anything left. And because I've got a powerful voice, I managed to let a scream out, and then I passed out. And then the next thing, I was over the bed and I had what they call an out-of-body experience, abbreviated as an OBE. So I'm looking down at the doctors and they're trying to thumping on me, and they've got these needles in me and they're trying to bring me back. And I was gone. I was on this journey. I went through this vortex of colours and different dimensions, and I've seen beautiful images, angels. I didn't hear voices or music or anything like that, but it was just, I was just being whisked in places. All of a sudden, my body would stop and I'd see things around me, and they'd be like entities coming towards me. Next thing, I'd be going again and again and again. And I'm getting shivers with it now because I've not talked about this before, Maddie. And I woke up, I was in tears and everything. And, you know, thank the universe, I managed to be revived. And, you know, and then Gerda came in. She's a Dutch nurse and the mother of our daughter, Sansara. And she said the anesthesiologist told me it was like touch and go, you know. So I found out after this, what had happened is, I mean, it's a between a 3 and 5% chance of recovery, you know, with not showing signs of like a stroke or something like that. Because I was gone. I was out of my body for nearly 6 minutes. But the thing was, I couldn't sleep for 3 days, and all I could see was colours and energy. And these hands were reaching out to me, and it was like, I get shivers now because I've not talked about it before. And it was like I was on another. I was on another. I've never come back from it. I think I went through like 3 different dimensions, and I'm still on the first one. So my heart takes me to the second and third. I can't stay in the third dimension. It'd drive me crazy. So they've left me in the first dimension, and the first dimension, secondary to the earth dimension, is somewhere where the art started to develop. 3 days after I came out of hospital, I was going to my apartment in Amsterdam, and leaning against the wall outside in the rain, I turned up. I had two big bags of paint. I spent every penny I had. I didn't have a lot of money. And I bought all this artwork. I had 2 bags of artwork. I got off the tram, went on a train to Amsterdam, then a train to Kousenfeld in the north of Holland. And I see this it was like something like 5 foot by 4 foot. It was a big canvas, 3.5 foot by 4 foot. And it had a rip in it. So I take it upstairs, and that was the first artwork I did. 3 weeks later, I put one thing on Facebook, and my brother Gary is a brilliant painter. He said, Steve, he says, you need to get in touch with the gallery. So I sent a block email, the only one I've ever sent, you know, with all that information, to anything beginning with Amsterdam galleries. 24 hours later, I had a ding on the phone, on the computer we had at the time. And it was from the Amsterdam Whitney Gallery in Manhattan, New York. So by mistake, the woman that was Aretha Tucker, who used to be the senior art director for the Guggenheim Museum, she sent me, I didn't send it to you, but she sent me a beautiful letter, and she wanted to represent me, you know, and she has a gallery in Chelsea, Manhattan. And so I painted about 30 different paintings on wood, and I found wood was a brilliant medium for me, more than canvas. Behind me is a canvas, you know, but I found wood has something supernatural about it, you know, because it's organic, you know. So I painted on the wood, and I locked myself away for like about a year, you know, after that. And then as the years went by, one day I took a photograph of one of my paintings, and I put it on Facebook. And a woman got in touch with me. It's called Nava Raphael, right? She's an American. She's a film actor in Hollywood. And she said, have you really looked inside this, you know, this image? I said, well, it's just a macro image of my painter. She said, Stephen, she says, all my ancestors are in there. So I'm getting shivers.
All our ancestors are there.
They were there. What happened? Yeah, what happened, Maddie? I realized that when I took a macro image of any one of my paintings, right, and digitized, you know, did a little bit of digital, you know, manipulation with it, I could see like ships and people, and this, because of the thickness of the paint, I don't know, but it was something supernatural in my work. So what I did then, and then after that, I went into doing digital work. So I was probably one of the first to do digital art in a way from 2012. And then I developed, and now I've got something like 150 to 200 different artworks. The artwork that you just showed me now is called Keepers of the Sacred Kingdom. And when I was in Switzerland, I was working over there singing. And I entered, I became friends with a woman called Lana Urso, and she works for Warner Brothers, you know, so she's the art director for them. And she said, Stephen, you want to enter a competition? I said, I've never entered a competition. She said, but you've got this critique from this, you know, this serious stuff, and it gets Guggenheim. So anyway, I sent this off, and then about 2 months later, I get an email. It says, oh, you've won People's Choice. Well, I didn't know what People's Choice was, you see, award. You know what I mean? I never knew. So it was 5 months later before I actually realized that I'd come first out of 800 artists with 80% more votes.
Well done. Well done.
So,
that is an amazing achievement. Can we just bring that painting up, the digital art?
If you bring that up, that
blue,
one.
Yeah, it was the blue.
Yeah,
there go. Thank you, Dr. Jacqueline. Yes. So this is the one that won the, you're saying the Sotheby's?
Yeah. Yeah. What happened is Live Art X is the biggest digital art competition ever in the world. It was the first. And basically what it was, it's 800 artists from 50 countries, and they picked 30 artists. And out of those 30 artists, there was the People's Choice section, and there was 10 different artists in People's Choice, and I got number 1. So yeah, and I got 80% more votes than anybody else in the People's Choice, and this was the artwork that I created. Now the reason why I created this, when I was in Marbella, I met a Russian guy years before, and I'd remembered, you know, And I thought, I'm going to, you know, and he said to me, you know, you should invent the world's most complex tattoo, you know, and that's what this was going to be. And when I went to a tattooist in Holland, she said, I've won the best tattooist. She said, nobody can make that into a tattoo. She says, but it'd be a great digital artwork. And, you know, so that's it.
You can see from your artwork that the trip where you went and crossed over other worlds and other dimensions
has
left an imprint on your mind, in your mind, in your mind's eye, in your third eye.
Pineal eye.
Yeah. Would you say that you see through your third eye in your art rather than the human eye?
Yeah, absolutely. Because what happened is after the operation, I became, I got a condition called synthesia. Synthesia means you see music, you know, and you hear colors. So basically, I changed me, and I get shivers now, you know. But I mean, when I'm creating the art, I don't start off with any. It just starts to happen, and it's like a magical thing. That's why I can't explain to anybody how I do it. Because, you know, I believe that, you know, I believe I've got a gift, and the thing is, I want to preserve that gift, you know, and share it with the world, you know, and help people. And I've done, I mean, I did one artwork and I sent it to Vladimir Zelensky, and I don't know whether he got it in Ukraine when the terrible warfare started. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? You know, the world's, you know.
What I found amazing, Steve, sorry if I may intervene, the fact that 2012 you started digital art. That's incredible, because it's only been maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, maybe the last 5 years that digital art really was brought through.
Correct. And the thing is, once I started to make the artwork, I realized then that it could be used as a backdrop, you know, for a show, you know, for theatrical shows, to heal people. I mean, I've done biblical digital art. I've done different stuff, you know. I've done a drawing and then take a photograph of the drawing and digitized it. You know, I work with quite a few different ideas, you know. I'm not saying I'm unique, but I'm definitely different.
Very much so. So, Steve, is there any way you can talk through the process of actually doing digital art? How do you do? Well,
sometimes what I'll do, I'll make a painting, you know, and then I'll take a photograph of the painting, and it can a macro image, so it's only a small section of that painting. And then what I'll do, I'll manipulate it and change, and I really get into it, because it's like it's my world, you know. Behind me here, you can't really see it very well, but this is a digital art. This is an actual physical artwork. So basically, if I wanted to digitize this, basically what I could do, I could just take a photograph of it and sell it as a limited edition digital print. But I can also take a photograph of it, and then in this computer that I built for €40 out of 3 old computers, I work between the I have like a telekinetic ability to work with digital stuff. I can't really explain it, you know. I mean, to be honest with you, it just happened.
Well, it's just phenomenal. And Steve, because I'm going to go on to your singing in a minute, but first of all, I'd like to guide the viewers. Where can they see your artwork?
Well, I've not got a website, but I do post artwork on with a copyright, obviously, you know, because it's all protected. But what I'm saying, I do post stuff on my Facebook, which is Steve Cline. You'll recognize me on the you know. I didn't actually send you the link to it, Maddie, but I can do that in future. I don't know how you do it. I'm in another world when it comes to art and music, but when it comes down to social media, I'm absolutely useless, you know.
That's fine. So Dr. Jacqueline found the banner, so she's already been appearing.
That's it. Well,
there you go. Here we go. Here's your Facebook.
Yeah. Well, you're looking at it on that's the desktop. So you chops the. That's it. That's the photo. Yeah, I can talk about that later if you want. But I was the UK judge for 7 different beauty contests. You know, so yeah. So I was the judge, the UK judge, and sang on the stage as well.
That's
for show
incredible.
star.
Well, this is what I'm just about to go on to now.
Okay.
Because this is how I met you and everything, in the way that your voice is absolutely phenomenal. And can you share with the viewers your journey as what's the most exciting gig or show you have done as Steve Cline, the performer?
Singing when the IRA blew Manchester up, and you know, going back to '96, you know, 90s. There was a little girl injured, and I wrote a song called "Man, Woman, and Child." So, and a guy called Paul Metcalf, who sadly passed away, he did the music for it. So I wrote the song. I started to write poetry many years ago, actually. But I never wrote lyrics, and that, you know, I just got into writing lyrics there. And it was about the experiences of the Manchester Bomb. So that's the biggest, because the Gibraltar Song Festival is a second. Next to the Eurovision, it's the biggest song contest in the world. You know, so it took me years and years and years to get that song. I was approached by very famous people who wanted to put it on an album, but the logistics came and that happened and everything. And people forget, you know, but it was destroyed, Manchester, you know, and I still have tinnitus from the bomb, the aftershocks of the bombing, you know. So that was the biggest. It took me years and years and years to be. I think it was from 2015 I sang that at the Gibraltar Song Festival. So from '96 to 2015, it was never played on the radio once. I couldn't get it played because he says, "Oh, it's not a pop song. It's not. You can't dance to it." You know, but it was from my heart.
Yeah, they couldn't fit it into a genre, because sometimes
That's
it's like
that's
that,
what it was, and
you know,
that's the problem with me, because I can't be pigeonholed, because I have my you know, my voice is I just feel free when I'm singing, you know, and
isn't how you're supposed to be, that feeling free. So how do you? Is your main income from your art, or would it be from your entertaining?
sorry, say that again.
What is the most, how can I say? Do you perform a lot around?
I was doing, but I'm going through kidney stone operations and stuff, so I've not sung for 3 months. I get on the 17th, which is in 4 or 5 days. I get the laser treatment and all that stuff. But I've been in a lot of pain for the last 3 months. But I've still been creating my artwork. But the last gig I did was 3 months ago, and I sung for 4 hours. I sung for 4 hours and 20 minutes, all styles.
That is incredible. So
breaks.
Can you share with our viewers, Steve, your favorite styles?
My favorite styles? Oh, God, I've got so many. I love ballads, you know. I've always loved ballads. You know, songs with meaning from the heart. Some Johnny Cash songs are like, you know, even the Rat Pack and stuff like that. Joe Cocker. I knew Joe Cocker in his lifetime. So songs like "You Are So Beautiful," you know, Joe Cocker. "Have I Told You Lately I Love You," you know, Van Morrison. Just songs that they have a meaning, you know. They may. Somebody told me once when I was busking, and a woman was crying, you know, and she said to the waiter at this place I was singing in the street in Amsterdam, she said, "Stephen," she said, "I've been listening to him now for an hour, and he's made me laugh, he's made me dance, and he's made me cry."
I must admit, when I met you, Steve, honestly, the comedy, the funny, you're so funny. You're absolutely hilarious. You really are. It's hard to take you serious because you're just so funny.
Well, it's how it is, you know. I mean, It's crazy, but you know, when I first started doing impressions, it was funny because I started doing them years ago, you know, and ringing up telephones and for people, you know, about they wanted to get off school, and I get on a telephone and I ring the headmaster, you know. But I was always be able to change my voice when I started to. Now I'm probably sounding quite high now, you know, my voice wise, not high and like, you know, stoned out of my box, you know, even though I'm in Amsterdam, you know. The only trip I get is off a coffee, you know, and a bacon sandwich, you know. But yeah, so back. So yeah, pull me back. I've lost it. I've lost it.
Yeah. With regards to you performing and doing your voiceovers, for example.
Voiceovers.
Yeah.
America, 1996.
Can you give an example of what you do?
Sorry?
Can you give an example of what you do? Share with the audience.
I was in a restaurant once in America, in Los Angeles, and I just said to the guy come round, you know, a woman, and she said like, she said, I can hear your voice, you know, you sound different, you know, I know you're English. I said, be afraid, be very afraid. That was it. So it was like, she said, you've got to meet somebody. So we got a free meal, goes in the day after. And I meet this guy and he says, do you mind if I tape your voice? So 96, that's when I started doing the voiceovers. He said, can I tape your voice? I said, yeah, no problem. So I was doing all these different voices, you know. Yes, Miss Moneypenny, bloody hell, you know, have you seen my new, you know, just funny stuff, you know. And they're like, one man, one journey. Are you ready for a new experience to another dimension with a voice of Steve Cline coming at you from England? And he liked it. People liked it and they thought it was funny. And then I went into different voices, you know. I don't know who you are or what you want. It's money. I don't have any. But what I do have is a very, very big appetite and a big belly. So if you give me a steak for free, I will not kill you.
That's hilarious.
But I do a lot of accents. I do a lot of accents, Maddie. Lots of them. So
who's your favourite person to sing or to take off?
Louis Armstrong is one of them. Louis Armstrong is one.
Oh, can you give a little bit of Louis Armstrong?
So what I used to do when I was doing the events, because I've been involved with a lot of charity events, so I used to get on stage and I'd sing in a really nice, clear voice, you know. I see through the green, red rose too. I want to introduce you to my friend Louis Armstrong to sing for you. And I think to myself, oh, a wonderful world, oh, yeah. And people used to like that. They thought, well, you're different, you know. And then my Johnny Cash is the same, you know. It just lots of impersonations on stage, you know, lots. I just fly off and go into them, you know, like Sean Connery doing, you know. Oh, a funny one was but he's a king now, so they can't. I used to do Prince Does Prince, yeah. So in Marbella, I'm doing a big event. It's about 2,000 people, a big show. And I turn on and says, and the guy brings me on. He said, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a Prince impersonator. So it's like, whoa, you know. So I walk on stage like, you know, 15 and a half stone, you know. And, you know, they're expecting this little scrawny Prince guy who lived in Marbella at the time. So I turn on and says, well, ladies and gentlemen, says, Prince does Prince. So and then the music comes on. So Purple Rain, you know. But instead of trying to sing like Prince, who's like a stick insect, I went, I never wanted to cause you any sorrow. I only want to see you laughing in the purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. In sort of a pseudo sort of Prince Charles thing, you know. And people were leaving the stadium. They couldn't handle it because they thought it was Prince doing Prince. And basically it was Prince Charles doing Prince. But I don't do it no more because he's the king. So that's
huge respect on that. But you're immensely talented. You're hugely talented, Steve.
No,
you really are.
No.
What would be your, you know, when you say the next 2 years or something, what would you like to achieve?
I would like to get my artwork out more, you know, get somebody to join with me to get my artwork out there. I'm not saying it's gonna get my artwork will be viral, but it can certainly catch a cold.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you see, the only people that get famous now, if you've got a one-legged cat with one tooth, you're a millionaire, you know. So there's loads of people making money out of cats and hamsters or a dog with a funny face with a hat on, and those are the only things that go viral, you see. So I have to find a way, you know. So maybe because I did a lot of animal charities. So maybe what I'll do, I'll just, you know, get a dog, you know, to chew one of my paintings up, and it'll become valuable, you know. I'll find a way. I'll find a way.
Is the way, isn't it, really? TikTok with all these 30-second videos.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter's in that. She loves all that. But I mean, I will do it. I'm going to set up now. I've organised this huge 8-foot by 6-foot attic acoustic where I do my record. All the songs, most of the songs you hear, apart from the live ones, are recorded in this room. So it's a good acoustic because it's got a roof like a church. But it's got no vicar here because I chased him away, you know. So he's done a rumor. But yeah, comedy. Oh, the other thing I used to do, I don't do it so much now, but I used to do impersonations of like, hello, my name is Sergio Kalashnikov. You have a restaurant in Marbella, correct? And they'd say, yes, I will. I hear my friend come the other day and they buy dinner and you charged him a lot of money. You don't give him free drink. Why is this? Do we have a problem? So they used to turn up at the restaurant thinking it was dodgy, you know. And the people would go in and say, "Oh, I'm a friend of Sergio's," and he'd sit you down at a table and he'd give him dinner for free. But also different accents, you know. Oh, hello there. It's nice to see you tonight. You know, it's lovely. You know, my name's Steve O'Shaughnessy. I'm a bare knuckle fighter. You know, little bit of this, little bit of that. You know. So different. Hello, how are you doing? I'm all right, you know, it's okay, you know. But the ones that I used to do with reggae, I did a lot of reggae stuff. So I worked with a lot of reggae, you know, bomba clat, you know, talking about the world, you know. Tassian, you know. Voila, it's talking about, you know. But in a nice way, not in like any form of race, you know. I think what it is, the world's too politically correct now, you know. I mean, when I remember everybody was doing, I mean, look at UB40 with the reggae music, you know, they love it, you know, people love that. I love it all. I love it all, Maddie. There's not much music. The only music I cannot stand is that death metal stuff.
Well, it's each to their whatever they want to hear.
No, but I mean, you know, I'm going to eat a fish finger. I mean, where's the talent in that? You
know, as much as I've enjoyed and been entertained by you, we're actually coming to the end of the show.
Okay.
So you have to come back for part 2.
Okay.
And maybe sing a couple of songs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'd love to do that.
Well,
I'd love to do that.
And I wish you a lot of luck and a lot of to really. I hope that someone out there really recognizes you as your artwork because it's phenomenal and it needs to go out there. Absolutely.
I want to. I donate for lots of for Children with Cancer UK and also Kadeka. I always, you know, donate some of my digital artwork and it's sold to raise money for charity. But we can talk about this later because I've not got the room set up very professionally or anything, but I'm quite complex because I love talking about life and stuff like that. I can't really be controlled, you know. That's the thing with me. Well, my mum used to say to me, Steve, she said, you could talk a glass-eyed to sleep.
You certainly can, and you can certainly talk a whole TV show as well. Completely.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that long.
No, absolutely, Steve. It's been an absolute honor for you to be on the Film and Music Show.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Please do come back, Steve, for part 2.
I would love to do that. And Maddie, you are a very, very, very talented singer as well, and a published author, and you're very spiritual and everything. And we talked about things, but like I say, you know, I do, you know, there's so many things because I don't normally talk about. I'm so enthusiastic about life and
Yeah.
making people feel,
Well,
just feel happy in their own skin, basically.
yeah. Well, thank
So
you
it's
so much,
my
Steve.
pleasure.
Once again, but
Thank you
we are
very much.
coming to the end of our program, and we've got our sponsors to thank you. Well, there you go. That was an immensely talented Steve, and we'll see him for another episode of Film and Music Show. So we have now come to the end of the program. And my name is Dr. Madelenechan. Please join us again on the Film and Music Show. We're looking to have anyone there who comes from the film and music, established and non-established. Please do get in contact. We have interviews available from October onwards now. And thank you for being such a wonderful audience. My name is Dr. Madelenechan, host of Talking Heads and the Film and Music Show, of course, and on the panel of A Woman's Prerogative on a Monday. Please do subscribe to USA Global TV and radio channel. Let's keep this growing. Let's keep it growing and evolving. And now we're going to leave you with our sponsors. Thank you so much. Keep smiling, keep happy, keep that creative heart pumping away and evolving. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Wherever you are in the UK or in the world, just have a beautiful, positive time. See you till next time. Bye-bye.
This program has been brought to you in part by Zane Carson Carruth, etiquette and protocol expert, international award-winning author, television show host, and philanthropist. Thank you to Zane, our official diamond sponsor for USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with E360 TV. Zane is the author of The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever, as well as many other children's books. She's also the television host of Elegance, Polished Demeanor, and Posh Living, seen on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Abella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book Abella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Abella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
To learn more about Zane, contact her through her website, zanecarruth.com, ZANECARRUTH.com. Order Zane's books and merchandise. Contact her about being a keynote speaker at your next event.